I'm going to teach Storm how to flex his head from side to side in response to the halter pressure. So get set up here. I just like to fold my rope over and then toss it over his neck. And I always want to do this in a rope halter. So I'm going to slide my hand down, and right when he moves his neck, I'm going to release. So that first time, he was kind of just looking in that direction, but I released anyway. I'm just going to go with him when he walks and release when he stands still and flexes. He has to keep those feet still first and then flex his head before I release. Don't release while he's walking around. Hold it. I'm going to try to stay close to him, but make sure he doesn't get that right front foot there too close to yours and step on you. Because you do have to stand pretty close to him. I like to stand right behind the withers. Slide my hand. Any little sideways movement from his head, I will release to, as long as he's got his feet still. He really liked to move around. He just been steered a lot and thought any sideways movement on the rein meant to go and turn around in a circle. So I'm going to teach him that's not quite the case. And this is important to teach him because if I got an emergency, I needed to stop him real fast, I need to slide that one rein down and yield his hindquarters and get control of him. And this is the beginning of that. Slide my hand down, pull up, and release. So I want to slide my hand down so I'm like maybe 6 inches from the snap, and then just kind of hold, and then I'm going to pull up toward his withers a little bit, and then I'm going to hold and wait, and then when he moves his head toward me, I'm going to drop the rope. So I'm going to start off with any little movement toward me, and then I'm going to increase the difficulty as we go. But at first I'm just going to kind of hold it. I'm not going to increase the pressure, I'm just going to hold and wait for him. With an advanced horse, or one that he's done this lesson before, he's been in the bridle for a while, he knows this lesson, I will bump on him if he's leaning against me. But Storm's not quite there yet. This is his first time doing that, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on him. So I just held him while he walks around, stay away from his foot, and just hold that same amount of pressure. So I want to kind of press my knuckle into his shoulder there so I don't move my hand around and release when I shouldn't. I want to release when all feet are still and when he brings his nose toward me. And I really want his face and his nose to stay straight. I don't want him to bend just his nose toward me to where his nose is at one angle and his ears are at another. I want them to stay level and in line with each other. I'm just going to repeat that. The first lesson, I just want to release every little pressure, and then I do want to end with his nose about even with his shoulder. And I'll just reward him there. He's getting the hang of it. Release. It's important to release as soon as his nose comes towards you, because if you release when he's soft, he'll learn to be soft and not pull on you. So it's good. Positioning, you want to be right behind his withers, and then every little movement I want to release. Very good. You don't want to hold on it and keep holding until he moves his head 10 inches to the side, because then he'll just get he won't be as soft if you hold him until he goes to a certain point. You want to release as soon as he does and then build on it each time. Go with him while he moves. Wait for him. There, he stopped moving, but he hasn't bent his nose toward me. He's gonna move again. Just gonna wait. Keep the same amount of pressure. Keep my hand in the same place. He's got to be patient with this kind of horse and just wait for him here. There, he moved his nose toward me, so I automatically released. I just want to repeat this for a few minutes. Make sure he gets the concept here. So just like soft movement. He's really wants to move around a lot, so I really want him to stand still more before I move on to putting him in the bridle and doing the same thing. But it's very important that I start out in a halter on the ground, then a bridle on the ground, and then I'll mount up and I'll do it in the bridle from the saddle. See, he barely moved there, and I released. Release. So now he knows the cue now, so I'm gonna ask for a little bit more. But when he's sticky like this and he wants to move around instead, I'll go back to releasing as soon as that nose moves. Hold and release. I want to give him just a little break in between asking him to flex his nose. And lunging has a lot to do with this. He really learns a lot of softness from it because I'll suggest him change directions with my lead rope, and a lot of that will come with this, so it's important that you do all the lunging before you start asking him to flex in the halter. See how his nose stays even and level with his face? That's really what you want there. Stay with him, release. He's not tilting his head or his nose, so that's really good. So now he's giving me a bit more every time I ask. Good. Move on to the other side. I'm gonna ask him to move around me. Get him a little handier here. I'm gonna do the same thing on his right side. He flexes a little bit better to the right, but see how he keeps his face straight there? That's exactly what you want. Because I want him to break at the pole instead of just twist his head around so just his nose comes toward me. It's a pole exercise. You really want to get control of that, so then later you can do vertical flexion, and that'll be the beginning of your collection. So this is the very, very beginning of collection. He's kind of just moving around, so I'm going to tell him that to do the opposite. So he was going forward, so I want him to back up. But he's quite soft in the halter, so that's good. He steers really well. He's very soft. He's somewhat soft in the bridle, especially to steering. Reward him here. He's doing really good on this side, especially. He's a little bit flexible, more flexible on this side. Just slide my hand down, lift, and I barely even touch it, and he comes back to me, so that's good. He moves around a lot less on this side too. He's just more flexible this way. That's probably just because he's been handled more on his left side. Wait for him. Put my hand down, and he responds right away. That's awesome. His head stays straight. Very good. I want it to come a bit closer to his shoulder, but he's doing really great for his first lesson. Release. It's all about just the pressure and release and when you release. And the more you practice it, the more horses you use it on, the better you'll get at releasing when the horse is trying and getting your timing down. You just work with multiple horses and really get your timing down. Hold them here and release. The hand down, hold, release. Very good. And he's flexed all the way to his shoulders. That was an awesome first lesson for him.